Welcome to the Nathan Markley Show. And now your host, Nathan Markley.
Hey, how you guys doing today? This is another episode of the Nathan Markley Show here on WQRI 88.3 FM. Roger Williams University in Bristol, Rhode Island. We're back. It's we had spring break last week, so that's why we had no show. And it's a good week. I actually what is this? I'm trying to post stuff on Instagram, and for some reason, my Instagram, when I do Instagram stories, the live stories, it takes a really long time for it to post. I'm not sure why. But anyways, my name is Nathan Markley, if you're just tuning in, and I am Rhode Island's Tech Geek. And I come on WQRI 88.3 FM every Sunday 2 to 4 p.m. to talk to you guys about technology and what's happening over the past week in tech news, maybe review products, or even answer your technology questions, where you can either call in to the show at 401-254-3800. That's 254-3800. Or you can leave me a comment on the live stream. You can go get that link to the NathanMarkleyShow.com website, and there's a comment field there that I'll monitor. Or you can tweet me during the show using at Markley Show, the Twitter handle. And of course, we have a Facebook page. And if you want to message me on Facebook, it's facebook.com/the Nathan Markley Show. But if you pretty much, the really good thing to remember is the NathanMarkleyShow.com website, because there is all the information on how to get in touch with me, the Facebook, the Twitter, how to listen to the show, a contact form that if you want to email me. And also, I record the first hour of the show from 2 to 3 and put it up on the website. So it has an archive of what I talk about, and so you guys don't have to write it down. You can just go to the Nathan Markley Show after this show, or usually a few hours after it, because it gives me time to edit it and upload it to the site. And I have the show notes there. I have all the links I talk about. So I was like, what did Nathan talk about Google, or maybe the CIA leak this happened a couple weeks ago? We'll talk about that later. I'm very interested, the CIA. And you can just go to the NathanMarkleyShow.com website and find that. And also you can go back and listen to it. Of course, you can listen to the show anywhere. You can listen to a podcast. iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. So we have a lot to talk about. A lot to happen, especially since we weren't here last week. And of course, I'm going to be checking into the live stream and see if they have anything to talk about. But with that being said, let's get right into the show. So this is pretty interesting, and it's kind of, I don't know. I never actually thought this would happen. But a Minnesota judge just agreed to a search warrant for personal information on anyone who Googled someone's name. That is right. A judge gave the police the okay to ask Google for information on anyone that Googled a particular person's name. I think his name was, what was his name? Come on, what was his name? What happened to the site? Oh, there we go. Alright, his name was Douglas. And we're not going to say his last name because privacy reasons. But anyways, by the way, Douglas is a fake name because a Minnesota bank received a call in January from someone who they thought was the customer, Douglas, asking to wire transfer $28,500 from a line of credit to another bank. And of course, the bank has to verify the transaction because that amount of money. So they fax a copy of his passport, and when they received the passport, it was fake, and they have to report it. And the police department there in Minnesota figured out that while searching Google Images for the victim's name, they found a photo used as a fake passport. And investigators couldn't find out on Yahoo or Bing, so they theorized the suspect, wow, must have searched Google for the victim's name while making the fake passport. So the theory on the application of a search warrant filed in early February asked the court to authorize a search warrant for names, email addresses, account information, IP addresses, MAC addresses, social security numbers of anyone who sorts varieties of the victim's name over a 5-week period of time. Wow. This is something very, very concerning about. I didn't realize. Wow. Everyone here. I mean, if this gets passed and Google, hopefully Google says, wait, what? No. Because Google also protects privacy too. And I mean, I don't mind Google showing ads on my website for stuff I don't relate to search. But I mean, if Google gives permission to this information, it's a whole new game. A whole new way to, for privacy concerns, dude. I mean, I'm going to point out here that your ISP also can probably figure this out too, because they have all this information. I mean, all your data goes through your ISP first before it reaches Google. So, yeah. What this article says in the Minnesota, it's this type of search warrant be used to wrongly assert innocent people. If Google were to provide personal information to anyone who Googled the victim's name, the police would raid their homes, or would they force to further investigation work? The question is, what comes next? If you bought a pressure cooker on Amazon a month before the Boston bombing, do police get to know about it? That kind of thing, that raises a question. And alright, you know what? I don't really agree with that. I mean, now we're getting into terrorism in there. But I mean, why did he do that? Who wrote the article? Because now you're getting into two different topics: terrorism and just fraudulent email. Oh, okay, I guess because you steal identity, but that's two separate things. I mean, yeah, I think they should know about it. A month before the Boston bomb. Yeah, I mean, that's terrorism. They should know about that one. I mean, for pressure cooker Amazon, but I mean, that's very interesting that he used that comparison to this fraudulent or stealing identity. But I guess you get the point. I mean, I would have said, like, if you sort something else and so they know about it, or should they ask? But I get the point where I was making is, and I guess it kind of turns into the WikiLeaks CIA spying on you through Android and your smart TV, or any television actually. But Google even has, I mean, Google does have the data. I mean, the FBI did go to your ISP, multiple ISPs, and asked them a few years ago, I think, to keep the data, you know, for you. But, very interesting. What do you guys think of this? I mean, it does get a concern of privacy, but I mean, the internet, you get really a crazy spot here when you do stuff with the internet, because the internet is public. I'm going to leave a link to this blog post, and he does actually put a copy of the search warrant, because that's public information, in the post. Yeah. Hopefully Google doesn't go back to a higher court and fight this, because if they allow this instance to do it, okay, I see why he made that comparison. Allow this instance to do it, it's going to open up a lot of doors. I mentioned that WikiLeaks, CIA, and so WikiLeaks document dump shows an agency can compromise Androids and TVs. No shit. Hackers do it all the time. This is something not new. And I want to bring this up in my show and talk to you about privacy concerns and all that. Because I talked about cybersecurity and privacy and security a little bit in another episode. You can go back to NathanMarkleyShow.com website for that episode. And, I'm not really surprised at this, that the CIA has documented software that they could probably put exploits or program in your Android to spy on you. Because hackers do it way before. They've been doing this since the time of the internet, pretty much. Since they figured out, people figured they can put stuff into your computer via the internet. I'm not really surprised why people are surprised, but the article, Computer World, says some smartphone attacks developed by the CIA allow the agency to bypass the encryption in WhatsApp. Okay? Confident in other apps by collecting audio and message traffic before encryption is applied, according to the WikiLeaks analysts. The document shows the CIA hoarded undisclosed or zero-day exploits for a number of systems, despite a promise from former President Barack Obama's administration to share the vulnerabilities with vendors, according to the WikiLeaks analysts. Did someone turn down my headphones here? So I can't hear myself. Hold on a second, guys. There we go. Alright. Yeah, there we go. The headphone volume was down. I don't like it when they touch the headphone volume, because then I can't hear myself. I don't know why they don't want to hear themselves. Wow. So this document reap, it's not surprising that they can do it. I mean, it's not surprising that the CIA can spy on you, especially through TVs. Especially this article I'll post in the show notes. Damn ads. It says, of course the TV spy on you. It has been since it got smart. And so are most of the websites you visit and every voice-activated smart device in your house or your phone. I'm not gonna say the act of the word, but there's certain devices that's always on and always listening, like your phone, and certain IoT device, Internet of Things device that's in your house now. It's the number one Christmas gift out there, according to Amazon. A lot of people bought this little device. But so this article for Computer World by Stephen, I can't pronounce his last name, I'm not going to try. He says that your PC operating system or smart TVs, they've always been spying on you. And I don't think there's something to worry about, because if the CIA really wanted to, most devices now, what you have to do, you probably have to go into your house, update the firmware so they can put something in, they come back in your house and grab the firmware out so they'll break into it. And by that time, it's just easier just to wiretap your phone lines or something, the internet probably made it easier. So take smart TVs, for example. I mean, anything that's connected to the internet is hackable. So smart TVs, they're hackable, and since they first showed up, the LG, Samsung, and Vizio TV models have been snooping on you for the makers for years. Weeks before WikiLeaks made its big revelation, the Federal Trade Commission got Vizio to stop spying on its customers. Some WikiLeaks smart TV claims theoretical, possible, but totally impractical. I just read that direct quote from there. And like I said, even Samsung, to crack the Samsung TV, you have to require, like I said, break into your house, as he mentioned. And you have to load firmware onto USB and record it, and go back in and grab it again. And I mean, it's nothing new that the CIA or the WikiLeaks mentioned that hackers have been doing. I mean, for email, we see it all the time with email. You can get an email or that it tells you to go to your website, update a password or something. It's so easy to update, to fake an email address or fake a website and pretend it's like your bank, citizensbank.com, and for instance, or santanabank.com. Let's use that one because I hate that bank. I don't like the name, for one thing. Why did that change the name? Anyways, we're not going to get there. It's so easy to fake these websites nowadays and pretend it's something else. And people are actually doing it, and so you have to update your password and your account information and all that. But by the way, if you get that email, it's spam. They don't ask you for any information. Maybe we should talk about that later. Maybe we shouldn't play music. I don't know. I feel like playing music tonight. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So it's so easy to do that, to fake that stuff, and people get it. So once this hacker, the bad guys, get this information, they can pretty much, they have access to your life pretty much. Your bank account, whenever, and you start to see your bank account go down or whatever, all the stuff with new charges. But with these emails, it's so easy to attach stuff and make it look like something else. So once you click on a link, especially on Windows, because Windows is so vulnerable, it automatically execute code to install software, and they could pull backdoor or keylogger to capture data and send it back to the hacker, and they pretty much, hackers been, the spying. That's why we have antivirus and malware and stuff, but that still doesn't really help you there. It does a little bit. But the weird thing is to know, and that's kind of that's why I talk about it with you guys, to tell you guys and to inform you. And because when everything is connected, everything and everyone is vulnerable. Thanks to Mark Goodman, who wrote that Future Crimes book, which is a very good book. If you want to know more about how Internet of Things and Internet works. But I am going to warn you that if you read that book, you may want to get off the internet. You may want you to get off the internet, the stuff it says. So, for the CIA to do that, this is not surprising that they're able to do it, and they have information. I mean, that's their job. The CIA are spies. They spy on people. And, yeah. So, with that said, let's see what else we have to talk about. Oh, yeah, I mean, cars now. We can talk about cars, Newer car tech opens doors to CIA attacks. Any attack, not just CIA. I don't know why Computer World says that. To CIA attacks. I mean, any attack. You're connecting your car to the internet. Your car now has an address on the internet. It's like, anyways, and the one thing we had to find is to be able to secure your car. Because once you connect 4G connection to your AT&T network or T-Mobile network or Verizon network, you're given an address so people can get into it and you can connect it and connect to different stuff. And so we might have to put antivirus in cars now. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be very interesting. I can totally see that walking out. Oh wow! All right, Nathan, we might have. I think you just may find a new consulting company to make. So again, WikiLeaks that the CIA has a hacking vehicle control, computer control system should control consumers. I think we could. That's you should be concerned once you put internet in your car. But okay, just say that. Particularly as more and more cars and trucks will offer semi-autonomous with autonomous futures. Um, The risk is greater if your trust in a self-driving vehicle. Walt said, "Yeah, not really. I think the risk is more if you connect internet to your car, because again, you have an address to the internet. Then once you start connecting it to other devices, like Ford is doing with Amazon's IoT device, smart home, smart listening thing, connect to it. But again, yeah, this is nothing new. Why am I talking about this again? Oh yeah, to inform you, to tell you that what the CIA and what WikiLeaks says what the CIA is doing. Hackers have been doing it for years. I'm not worried about it. I mean, if someone is really going to hack into something I have, I mean, go ahead, try it. I mean, I have security precautions in place to protect it. I'm always monitoring my network stuff, so you guys should too. And I think I should do an episode for you guys on exactly how to be safe online. What should it be called? Should it be safe online? No. Safety, internet safety. Safety force using the internet. I don't know. I'll think of something cool as a name. Because it goes back, you know. It goes back to the U.S. government to protect Americans, and it goes back to what the first article said, how the judge allowed to ask Google for the names and stuff, but to everything is connected. What I'm talking about, you know, privacy concerns. The role of the U.S. government is to explore security vulnerabilities in order to make product manufacturers aware of potential hazards, not exploit them. Waltz says in this Computer World article. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, wouldn't you want the CIA to be able to do this too, what hackers have been doing, so they can spy on other countries to make sure they're not going to do something to our country? I guess it's a catch-22 kind of thing, right? If you think about it that way. What do you guys think? Give a call, 254-3800. You're listening to the Nathan Markley Show on WQRI 88.3 FM here in Bristol, Rhode Island at Roger Williams University campus. What did the Obama administration do? In 2014, the Obama administration showed Americans that a policy called the Vulnerability hold on. I read the wrong one. Wow. I read the wrong sentence. I'm sorry, guys. A policy called the VEP will prevent federal agencies from withholding major security vulnerabilities from the companies affected by them. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, I see what they're talking about now. So the CIA found a vulnerability in the systems that didn't reveal it, and that's probably why people are concerned. That's interesting. That's an interesting take on all this. Didn't really realize that. I didn't think about that one. Hold on a second. Interesting. Very interesting. The NSA toolset was designed to exploit vulnerabilities in widely used network products produced by Cisco and Fortinet. Okay. How is that new from something else? Government regulation. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I think the CIA is doing what they're supposed to do. I mean, I don't know. If the CIA does find a vulnerability, I think they should tell people about it. But then again, if they tell people about it, these companies, then people wouldn't want to use it because they'll be scared that other people do it. But if you tell them, these companies will be able to fix it so they can't get the vulnerability. Again, it all comes down to when everything is connected, everything and everyone is vulnerable. And with the IoT devices out in the world and everything's starting to be connected to the internet, we're an internet connected world. That's where it gets tricky, I think. Like 185,000 Wi-Fi cameras on the web with insecure admin portals. This is very interesting. So, according to the registrar here, what's the website? The registrar. So, I guess there's a Chinese genetic wireless webcam sold under more than 1,200 brands from 341 vendors. Wow. Has a bugly and exploit embedded web server. Does it say what kind of web server it is? It's been a while since I read this article. It's been a week. The Wi-Fi connected camera is exposed to the internet, ready and waiting to be hijacked. Oh, you did give it an IP address. So, the camera's CGI script for configuring its FTP server, file transfer protocol, so transfer files between the internet from one device to another, has a remote code exclusion hole known since 2015, Kim said, and this can be used to run commands as root the main user or start a passwordless telnet server. Oh, yeah, that is insecure. What's the... Like there's an Apple developer certificate with a private RSA key. What's the, does it give me the device's name? The camera connects to the cloud by default can be remotely controlled by a smartphone app, or attacker needs to command a camera is one of these apps. P2P Wi-Fi cam and Netcam 360. And the serial number of the target. Serial number. Okay, can you just use the MAC address? But okay. Oh, maybe that's what it said. But the developers about disagree and say the four are the custom code included by the hardware makers. Kim also named Axis as a vulnerability vendor. Axis says it is not suitable to the vulnerabilities stated by Kim. Oh, here it is. The vulnerabilities clearly go back a long way, since 3com's name is in the list of affected gear. Other big names are D-Link. Oh yeah, there's all Chinese thing. Logitech, MediaTek, Panasonic, Polaroid, and Seacam. Oh wow, that can be a big botnet. I mean, 185,000 cameras on the web in secure. Something didn't secure those cameras, right? So if you reach the camera's TCP port 10554, that's a port I don't know about, you can watch what it sees. Huh! Pretty interesting and scary at the same time. But again, it's Wi-Fi. You gave it a IP address to the internet. I'm going to repeat again. When everything is connected, everyone is vulnerable. And this just goes to show, reading this, that we need to find a better way to secure these IoT devices and make sure they are secure, because people can just hack into them and see what you're doing. I bet you Google probably was trying to figure that out too. Anything you post can and will be used against you. Going backwards here. That's not what I want. Uh-oh. Did I just link the wrong one? Yep. Alright. This is a very good article. Let me try to find the article again, because I like that article. I want to talk about it because he made a good point in it. I have to find the article again because I linked the wrong one. Oh, what? Damn ad. Sorry about that. Did not want to do that. Where's the article? Oh. Anything with a camera, microphone, IP address can throw out and be hacked. Yeah, that is true. Oh, I didn't post that one. But I want the other one. Where is it? Okay. Alright. This article is by another Computer World article. There it is. Anything you post can and will be used against you. So the CIA can hack your TV, but public posts on Facebook could really hurt you, says Mike Ogden, tech writer, tech journalist. Very good one. I follow. He says, while everyone's freaking out over the WikiLeaks dump, that the CIA, why did you write it out, can hack Apple and Android smartphones, major PC, operating system, even TV sets. The news has caused ripples in international relations and got companies like Google and Apple to patch holes and issue fixes. Yeah, that is true. It's also created an unnecessary panic. WikiLeaks' characterization of the document was alarmist and misleading. The press picked up on the alarmness and spread further misinformation. Oh, okay. Yeah, like I said, what the CIA is doing, the hackers have been doing for a long time anyways. Many in the public believe that the CIA has some new ability to hack anything, but again, in reality, it's the same thing that hackers been doing for years. Yeah, so like Mike Elgin says, this story is reminding us that anything with a camera, microphone, IP address could theoretically be hacked. Like I've been telling you since the start of the show. The question is, will the CIA hack you? And the chances of the CIA hacking you, Mike, I think it's very, very slim. I really don't think the CIA cares what you're doing, unless you're a bad guy, then maybe. But if you're not a bad guy, you have nothing to worry about. I think you might have to worry about other hackers trying to hack you for the fun. Cover your laptop camera with tape like Mark Zuckerberg does. Yeah, okay. I agree with that. Now they actually sell devices. Sorry, live stream. I didn't mean to do that. They actually sell devices that go over your camera that you just slide, and it's a Wi-Fi cover, and you just slide it out and slide it back in to cover the webcam, or when you use the webcam, you slide it out to reveal the webcam. So that's pretty cool. I like that. And there's other precautions you can take. You can encrypt your email and encrypt any communication. But encryption is depends what kind of encryption you use. It can be difficult to set up and use. And the other portion needs your private key, public key, not your private key. Don't give your private key out if you use encryption. Or your public key so they can decrypt it so they can read your message. But I want to talk about what you post online. Because Mark Elgin made a good point that in December that the U.S. government started asking some foreign visitors to provide Twitter, Facebook, Google+, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube accounts so they can be checked for signs of terrorist connections. It was a pretty general request. Providing such information is only for those on the visa waiver program and optional. In recent months, however, U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials have begun checking the social media accounts of some U.S. citizens who are also Muslim. Really? Okay. This has Trump written all over it. The U.S. citizens who are also Muslim at the point of entry rather than part of the paperwork. All right. You don't know how this turned into political, but it did. Did not want to do that. These checks on social media could reveal what travelers have posted publicly, but the government wants the private stuff too. Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly said in an interview this past week that the Trump administration wants travelers from certain countries to provide a list of websites they visited and their online passwords. What? He wants U.S. Customs to get on those websites and see what they've been looking at. What? This goes back to the thing I originally talked about, the first article, the Google case in the Minnesota court judge. What? U.S. Customs proposing to add all Chinese visitors to a list of people asking to disclose their social media profiles. Oh, wow. This just got interesting. Current policy is based on the religion and nationality of travelers and is most superficial and voluntary. But the trend is clear. The U.S. government is rapidly expanding the invoices of social media checks in order to figure out who is trustworthy and who is not. Other nations are likely to follow the U.S. leads, but would sort social media based on their own national criteria. Your business trip to Turkey may involve sources that look to support the whatever independence, the Turkish independence, whatever. Don't ask me to pronounce that word because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to butcher that word. Your vacation to China may involve searching your social accounts for trade secrets to steal. Okay. Your weekend to Cuba may end before it begins if Cuba custom agents find a 3-year-old tweet shaming hipsters for wearing t-shirts. Okay. Social media increasingly affects spheres of life beyond travel. Between 35% and 50% of college admissions offers now check the social media accounts of applicants as part of their selection process. Some insurance companies are reportedly checking social media to find out if customers live risky lifestyles. Yeah, actually, that is true. I know someone who insurance got dropped because of what they were doing. Rises the cost of premiums for those who do. Some are even denying claims based on social posts. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't like that the government is asking for people to give their passwords to information. I'm pretty sure they can find out this information without the passwords. I don't care who you are, you shouldn't give your password out to anyone. Alright, guys, I have no words on that. Right. That just took a turn that I didn't realize I was going to do. More than 40% of HR managers routinely check social media accounts of current employees, and quarter of them have found something that lead to action ranging from reprimands or terminations. In the past year, CEOs have become the target of interests of social posts, according to Ken Springer, a former FBI agent and current president of corporate relations, a company that performs such checks on behalf of clients. The CEO of a company called Taylor Garment posted a picture of himself with President Trump. President Trump, which caused a social media backlash against the company, according to a report of Bloomberg BNA. All this checking of social media comes with risk, but today's risks are nothing compared with what's coming. That is true. Well, let's put it this way. You're using a website that is owned by someone else, and they're willing to have you post stuff on this website. Now, given the purpose of the mission of a website is to connect the world and everyone be connected, but and also privacy too. But once you post up the internet, it lives on the internet. I do not know what to think about this. Social media profile would take a dark new meaning. In the near future, social media and AL will enable any organization to rank people based on trustworthiness. A Chinese government program called the Social Credit System, which is currently in beta, seeks to rank everyone in the country. Okay. So does that mean... Huh. Um. hmm. Well, I guess we should all just be careful what we post. Um, looks like this Chinese company also, from this reading this article very quickly, will be able to tell you use social media posts to see if you get a loan or a job. Oh, just what's coming. Remember, it's not just Chinese. It's what's coming in the future. What do you guys think? Do you think they should be using the social media post to see if you're trustworthy and base it on your job or school missions or getting a loan? I mean, you are using the internet, and the internet is public, so you're posting stuff on a public place. It's like posting stuff out in the real world on the sidewalks of the streets. You can think of that way. The internet is public. I think you should all think twice to what to post. Yeah, I want to know what your thoughts are. If anyone listening to after the fact, leave them a comment or tweet me at Markley Show. You are listening to the Nathan Markley Show on WQRI 88.3 FM at Roger Williams University, Bristol, Rhode Island. Real quickly, we have about 10 minutes left on this hour, and then we're going to cut to a break, and then we're going to go right into music. But I want to talk about 7 Wi-Fi vulnerabilities beyond weak passwords. This whole episode is about cybersecurity and pretty much your privacy. And yeah. Using strong encryption and passwords is only the first step in protecting your wireless network. Make sure you're not exposed in other ways. Like if you use the default SSID or password, for instance. The SSID is the name of your Wi-Fi network. And the default password, which is usually admin. Please change that, because if you don't change it, someone can hack into your network. And the SSID, which is usually Linksys or something, for instance, what did they say? Your Wi-Fi network's name called the SSID can make your network less secure if you leave the default SSID of your router or your wireless access point, such as Linksys. It can increase the chances of someone successfully cracking the Wi-Fi password. That is true, because if you leave it, it's default. That's what they call the default, you know. So you change it to something that it's not default. I don't know, something, your pet's name or something. I don't know, just change it. And your password, don't use your pet's name as a password. Use like a good passphrase with letters and numbers and symbols for password. For instance, your ISP's gateway has a default SSID, which is the modern number of a gateway, which is the box that you got of the modem. Someone could do research, hacking the methods of that particular model. Furthermore, the default Wi-Fi password is the model number and with extra numbers. And MAC address too. So since that MAC address is also broadcast via the airwaves, it can easily be detected by snoopers. A hacker could have everything they need to figure out the password. So in this case, you should change both the default SSID and password. Not physically securing your wireless network and network hardware, because if you have it in a general location, it may be easier to unplug it or put a flash drive into your wireless network, because now your wireless router have USB ports, and you plug it into a flash drive into a USB flash drive with a virus on it. It can, and you have most people, the USB ports on your wireless hardware is open. It's not shut down. You didn't close it. Make it look like it's closed or it's not working. So once you plug it in, it will execute code and affect anything, a virus on your whole network. So you never know who has access to. You invite people over to your house, and it's in a public place, So make sure you secure your device in that way. Don't leave it sitting on a table in an unlocked room. Someone could just, just come in and, they can touch the button now to quickly reset the access point to the factory defaults. And now your network is open again. So you have to go back and redo it. So secure that. Having a shared Wi-Fi network password. Yeah, that's true. Make sure your password is WPA or WPA2. Don't do WEP. WEP is insecure, and your password pretty much broadcasts over the air in plain text. Is not encrypted. WPA, WPA2. WPA2 is the most what people should use now. Is encrypted, and you can it's better. Of course, if you have enterprise, there's other enterprise encryption you can use. But I'm not going to go through that because we're talking more consumer networks in your home. I guess if your employee leaves the company until you have a visitor, coming to your house, the wireless device configured to the Wi-Fi password is stolen. The visitor or an ex-employee of the device thief could easily access the network, of course, and you could change. So you should change the password after certain events or whatever. I actually changed my password on my network on my parents' house often, just in case, because we have when we have people come over, but not that many people. But we're doing it, and I don't like giving that password out. So I always we change it to make it secure, so they have to ask the password. Because once you enter the password one time on your device, it's stored there. So when you get to the network, when the device is connected to the network automatically, so I'll make sure it's connected. Now Wi-Fi networks have a WPS PIN authentication. And is that the Wi-Fi protected setup, right? So it's supposed to make secure networks easier, but actually pose some serious security risk. A vulnerability in the PIN authentication method of WPS makes it easy to crack the 8-digit PIN and retrieve the password when the personal mode of security is being used, thus allowing someone into the network. This vulnerability is another reason why businesses should use the enterprise mode of WPA2 security, as the WPS feature doesn't work with that mode. If that's not possible, you should consider disabling WPS on your wireless routers or access points if possible. So you know how on your network there's a button you can push, and for a few seconds it will let you connect to the network automatically without entering your password. You just have to do a PIN or something like that. That's what they're talking about, and I think I disabled. Yeah, you should just disable it, because someone can just come over to your network. If your access point is open to the public on the table, just push that button, and now they connect the device to the internet. Number 5, allowing users to connect to neighborhood Wi-Fi networks. I don't really have to explain that too much. Pretty much, users accidentally connected to neighborhood and Wi-Fi networks while in the office. So the problem with this is that laptops and other wireless devices that employees connected to other networks are then vulnerable, and their data could potentially be accessed by users on the network. Just not just employees, but in your home too. Permitting user-to-user snooping. There's apps out there that you can use to snoop on network traffic. It's very easy for hacking and stuff to see what's going on in your network. Block that for not just anyone can use those apps. So block those stuff. Allowing unauthorized access to misconfigured okay, you guys need to know about VLANs because VLANs is something for businesses. Yeah, so I'll leave this link in the show notes too. But unfortunately, we have reached to the point where our one is complete of the Nathan Markley Show on WQRI 88.3 FM. And we have to take a short break before hour 2. I'll come back on. And if you guys have any questions, don't forget you can tweet me at Markley Show. Let's just continue the discussion about privacy. I want to know what you guys think of the CIA, of the government asking for people's passwords when they travel outside the country or in general. And there's a privacy too. And I think I'm going to do an episode on internet safety for you. Again, thank you all for listening to the Nathan Markley Show here at Roger Williams University, WQRI 88.3 FM, Bristol, Rhode Island. I am Nathan Markley, Rhode Island's Tech Geek, and I will see you all the next hour. So till then, peace, good night, and don't go to bed.